everyone, welcome back to another video. Today's video we will be doing a vendor, some looting, and I guess a basic inventory system for what we buy at the vendor. We will be using the stats module and another one that I have called rapid icon. This is for making the pictures in the vendor so it's not all placeholder images. Anyways, let's get to it. So, as you can see, I've already set up a little basic scene here. My vendor here. There's no functionality to it. It's just all for looks. So, let's go add some stuff to it. So, for the vendor, we're going to make it so when we enter this, it's going to open up a vendor screen. And from there we buy our items. We'll have a button to open our inventory and see the items that we bought. So yeah, let's do that. So I guess we're going to start with making the actual vendor menu. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go into game view here. I'm going to create a new UI image. I'm going to name that vendor. I'm going to make this much bigger. And let's turn this down to black, about 100 opacity. I'm going to add a little title at the top. Call that vendor. Let's see here. Just going to center it out now. And move it up to the top. Alright, so here's our little vendor menu. I'm going to put that on hold right for now. And let's make it so entering the shop's trigger will open that up. So under shop, so yours obviously, mine's done up, yours isn't. But once you make your shop and what you want it to look like, we're going to create an empty. I'm going to call it trigger. And let's find where that is. I'm going to add a sphere collider. And I'm going to move that kind of in the center of our little FX thing here. There we go. We're going to add a trigger to it. On tag enter player. We will set active our vendor, and on trigger exit tag we will disable it. There we go. Already this should start working. Oh, sorry, forgot to turn off the collider on that. Sphere collider is triggered, yes. There we go. Very interesting. Doesn't seem to be working. Player, let's give our player a player tag for one. Alright. Now. There we go. Vendor, no vendor. Perfect. Alright, now before we go any further with the vendor, let's create our little inventory screen that we're going to make. I'm just going to duplicate vendor here, rename it inventory, and just rename this as well to inventory. Alright, I'm going to create an empty under my canvas panel here. I'm going to call this inventory button. And we're going to add a image That image will be just a circle, black, opacity about 200. I'm also going to create a game creator UI button. Move that up there. And let's see. You also going to turn this into some kind of button. See if there's a bag or something I can use. And we'll just use this one. Get rid of that text there. And just shrink that down a bit. There we go. So there's our inventory button. It's not the nicest. Actually, it's pretty damn ugly. But for video purposes, it should be fine. Move that right there. Alright. So now this button, I'm going to run a condition and then add a condition. Alright, so if object is active, actually if object is not active, that object being our inventory, then set active our inventory. Then we're going to add another branch, or actually we can just duplicate this branch. So if it's not active, it will be active. If it is active, then it won't be active. And then just drag our inventory back in the new branch. And already this should work. So open inventory, close inventory. And to go one step further, I want my inventory to close the vendor as well, or my vendor to close the inventory. This is, I probably shouldn't be doing this already, but we're gonna do it just to get it out of the way. So vendor, I'm gonna add a trigger to the vendor, on enable, set active inventory to false. I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna paste that in the inventory as well. On enable, set vendor to false. Ah shit, I'm doing this in play mode. But here's what it should look like. See how they cancel each other out? So let's, damn it. Alright, trigger, enable, set active, false inventory. Copy, paste, switch that over to vendor. Boom. Perfect. Alright, that's out of the way. Now, let's add... Alright, well, before we get started, under my stats, I've created a gold stat, max gold and gold, max gold being almost 10,000. I'm going to add one more stat. Don't worry about the health or anything, that was from a previous video. Alright, so gold, I'm going to rename this to item. I'm going to drag the new max gold under there. Alright, rename that to item, rename this to item, and this, we're going to set the max value of this to 1, save. Alright, now I'm at a loss here. Okay, so we have that. So now let's actually make the item. What item are we going to use? So I'm using the the Gang Warfare pack, Polygon Gang Warfare pack. Doesn't matter what you use. But I'm just going to grab a weapon from this. Let's see here. Let's go with a bat. Alright, so under my player, I'm going to create an empty called weapons. And on that weapons thing, I'm going to add a trigger on start, set parent of weapons. I'm going to set the parent to the right hand of the character. Perfect. And then the actual weapons object itself, I'm going to move towards the right hand. Perfect. Alright, now let's add the bat onto the weapons. Good enough. Alright, so this bat, we're going to set that off. Now, with the rapid icon asset I have, we will turn that bat into an image. So if you don't have rapid icon and you're thinking about getting it, I'm going to show you why you need to get it, because it just makes everything so much better. You can actually have pictures of your in-game items instead of using, you know, pictures that are similar or close to it. These will be the actual items. So I'm going to find our bat in our Gang Warfare here. There it is. And I'm going to turn this into our picture. So I'm going to set the size to 512 by 512. Post-processing. Do that one. And let's just rotate it a bit. Yeah. I'm going to export it. Export selected icons. We're going to close this. We are now going to find this in our rapid icon folder. Exports. There it is there, the bat. In order to use this into a picture, I'm going to click on properties. I'm going to override it for one. And then texture type, 2D, and UI. We're going to apply that. Now we have the image here that's ready to go. So, for our vendor, I'm going to create an empty, call this bat. UI image. Alright, and in this image we will put our bat in. Very hard to see, but let's get in there and find it. There it is. So let's make this a little bigger. So there's our bat there. I'll just put it right in the middle, whatever. So we got our image. I'm going to add a UI text. And we're going to call this bat. And under that, we will have a price of $1,000. Beautiful. I'm going to create a button now, game creator button. I'm going to put that under the text. Change that opacity down. So now we have a button that we'll use to purchase the bat. And we're going to add another text. And this one will say owned. Alright, so we got everything we need to turn that into an actual functioning item purchase. Now the same thing we're going to do to our inventory as well. And then we'll add functionality to everything. So for inventory, just turn that off, open this, and I'm going to paste that as a child, 0, 0. And instead of purchasing it, we will say equip, and maybe unequipped or equipped? Unequipped. If that's how you spell it, I have no idea. Oh, okay, that's too big. Let's just go equipped. That's not dog. Alright. Unequip. And we'll just make it a little bigger. And we will give the unequip one a button as well. Alright, so we have that. I'm also going to just turn bat off because technically we don't have it yet in our inventory until we purchase it. Alright, so I think that's everything we need. Alright. Okay, I'm blowing up. I will come right back to you guys. Okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna make this like a 2 or 3 part video just cause, you know, I added all the UI to it. And now I just have to add functionality, so I might do that in a second part video. But for now, there's just a couple more things I want to add. I want to add a little message here when you get loot or get money. So I'm going to create an empty called messages. And then create another, I guess, text message. Oh my god, text mesh pro. And we're gonna say gold added. I'm just gonna make that a little bigger. Center that out. And again, like, this is all for tutorial purposes. I don't expect you guys to actually implement this in your game looking how bad it is right now. Nobody wants to see a message like that. Yeah. And for the loot, I'm going to create, just like what we did with the shop, we're going to create a trigger, add a sphere collider, alright, so this will be where we go to get our loot. So once we enter that, I guess I'll just do that now. So trigger on tag enter player, add instruction, set active, message to true, set active. I'm going to do the lid of this to false. Stats. Now, I'm going to do this now, and then I'll explain it later in another video, or the next video. But basically our gold stat, we're going to add 2,500. And then set active self to false. So it's a one-time thing. You enter it, you get your gold, and then you can't do it again. Now, I don't have a UI displaying our money count. I will add that in the next video, but basically, gold added. Now we have gold. Now we can buy bat. We buy bat. Inventory. Equipped it. Done. Alright. Before I end this video, I will quickly make a little gold counter at the top here. So we're going to create a UI. Text Mesh Pro. I'm going to rename this to gold. I'm going to write gold in the message. Alright, we're going to move this all the way up here. I'm going to create another UI Text Mesh Pro. And my max gold, I think, is 4 nines. So we just need this to be as big as 4. So 4 X's should do it. And there we go. So that there will be our gold counter. So in order to show that, I'm going to go back to the gold one. I'm going to add a component called attribute UI for the player. Add gold. And values, the value will be Text Mesh Pro. And then add this, the actual 4 X's. So this should work. We should be at 0. Okay, that does not work. Oh, I didn't add the stat to the player. So we're going to add the gold and the item, and the max gold and the max item. Okay, now it should work. What the hell? Gold. Why aren't you working? Okay, you know what? I'm going to remove this off the UI. I'm not going to name this gold. I'm going to do just whatever. TMP or whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to create a new empty called gold. We'll add these here, and under this one with nothing in it, attribute UI gold. The value will be this one here. I'll just rename this to value to make it easier for you guys. Okay, please work. Nothing. This is very interesting. Oh, I know exactly what it is. My player does not have no. My player does not have stats on, so game creator, stats, traits. Add the player trait, There we go. Now it will work. Except I start off at max gold. So, boom, boom, boom. Change start percentages. Gold 0, item 0. Play. There we go. Okay, now we enter 2,500 gold. I will now buy a bat for $1,000 in the next video. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about all the little hiccups there, but we got through it. Now the next video we will be able to purchase a bat, equip the bat, maybe add a basic melee attack. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.